may not even be live because there is a lag. Let me put on the music, and Jeff and I will talk over it, and then that's the
Wait, did you
show.
actually already start it?
I just started. I started right at 1:30. You
You
know.
didn't warn me on that one, did you?
Well, I said we're going live. Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
Dre.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is. Oh, okay. Here's where we go. There we go. There's the right screen. I was gonna say. All right. This is what's great about that, Jeff, about the not warning, is we get lots of callbacks. So many callbacks. All the callbacks in the world. Music's about done. Jeff can't hear the music. Dre's just rambling to Jeff. All right. Welcome to I Must Drake You on the new channel. We thank you all. Jeff put out an APB for people to come over to at Jeff Has Cool Cards. Hopefully you know that's where you're at. And here's where we're at. Normally I do this on Monday, Jeff, but I'm traveling tomorrow, and you are stuck at home. And here's what I want to throw back, Jeff. 2 callbacks, as I was
Yeah.
saying in the intro. If you go to patreon.com/Jeff May, there is a Patreon exclusive, Ugg Fine with Kim Crawl, which was a great, albeit I feel so much for both of you this month. And you can find out on that episode why Jeff is at home, and it's a running gag on let's see if I can stumble around this, Jeff. Basically, a funny part about Kim Crawl is she is super knowledgeable, and she just has random blind spots in her pop culture knowledge, which is a recurring theme that's hilarious, right? And so Jeff
Yeah.
said, you did the "Are you ready for this?" Dun 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 dun, dun startup, which we all
Yep.
know is like an intro theme to a game, right? That means we're going. And Kim
Yeah,
was
I
like,
got them there.
yeah. And Kim's like, wait, we're going live? You just started singing randomly. And you were like, yeah, that is what that song means. And so same thing, Jeff, and you and I were like doing the pre-talk, right? And then I'm just like, oh, 1:30, click go. To be fair, I was making sure we weren't saying anything private or personal, but it was, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
we're live? It's like, yeah, it's
Well,
1:30.
what it comes down to is people might be finding out. Put some motion on that camera. It looks boring.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there we.
So watch
What
spinning
we
bowling
will
ball,
find
like
out
you
is,
got to put the
yeah,
spin on it, knock
I am
over all
at
the
the
pins.
I
Sorry,
am at
Jeff.
the tail end. I'm at the tail end of COVID. Yeah, so I'm finishing up a quarantine for COVID. I am stuck in my bedroom, making sure not to get anybody ill. I was not able to do the mailbag on Friday because of that. But here we are.
If we're doing
We're here. I'm
callbacks,
feeling better.
what I love about that, Jeff, by the way, some people, so this
Yeah.
is one thing you always stress, and I agree with, is consistency, right? But I will
Hmm.
agree with your health, a dead producer is no good. So yes, keep consistent unless your health is at risk. A few weeks ago, there was no I Must Drake You, and literally I woke up, had tinnitus basically, which is how I knew I was sick because I don't normally have that. My head was swollen. I slept all day. And I woke up at I think 5 p.m. my time and was like, "Hey Jeff, yeah, I should still be able to break tonight. I've been out sick all day, but I'll rally. I'll come." And you're just like, or you could just be sick. And that exact conversation took place between you and Kim because you were just like, "Yeah, after this, I'm gonna go, go do my mailbag." And there's some cool stuff in that mailbag I happen to know about, Jeff. And Kim was like, "You look like you're dead. Go to bed," which I
Yeah.
loved. By the way, Jeff, fun thing I've started doing this. This is not great art, but I've given myself a checklist of topics that I'm going to try and discuss quote unquote organically in the show. Got those there.
Very organic to show your outline. Well, I will
Well, this
say
is like a
people are
stand-up
watching.
comic, right? You've got like your
Dre,
little,
yeah, it's a set list.
yeah.
Do me a favor though, Dre, because people came here for a break. Let's start doing the break.
All right, so 2 sets we're going to be doing: 2023 Panini Prizm WNBA and
Yeah.
PBA Premier. Now, this was one of my first topics that'll lead us into as I'm breaking over that first pack. That is a signed Jewel Lloyd card, former Rookie of the Year, multi-time All-Star, MVP, and Jeff. Ooh, nice. We got something good at the
Now,
end of this pack.
and
Here,
now we know she is a member of the USA Olympic team.
so that was what's funny is I am a big sports fan. I love the arguments, right, Jeff? Let's go to the close-up. I love the arguments, right, as much as anybody. You know me, Jeff.
Yeah.
And so there's this big hubbubaloo about Caitlin Clark not making the WNBA squad. every sound take I've heard, you're going to be in this one as well, is there is such a difference between best in college and best in the pros. It is more than fine that the top college recruit isn't immediately the best in the NBA. That is hyper rare. As an example, let me think. Tim Duncan and Michael Jordan. I think that's it. I'm trying to think back
Yeah,
of recent, right? Like not in like the
yeah.
60s when like plumbers were playing and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where people get so mad about the Caitlin Clark thing because she's like the it girl, but it's like the Olympics aren't about the popularity of the person. It's about who has the specific skills in this specific moment.
Well, and then also, I mean, what other people have noted, right, is that like the USA women's Olympic basketball team is like 74-3. Like they know what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
if this was the Pistons, if this was the Detroit Pistons, oh, I'm really excited about what's coming up at the end of this. All right, and this is the thing,
What
Jeff.
do we got?
Give me a year, and I'm going to learn all these players. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool, Jeff. We got coming up next, Becky Hammon. Do you know Becky Hammon? That name should ring a
I
bell
don't.
for NBA
Off the top
fans.
of my I don't.
Okay,
don't,
so
Dre.
she was an assistant
Hey
coach for
Dre,
the San Antonio.
I'm realizing now that your screen froze.
No, it's not. Should be good.
Oh, so you've just had a blank thing this whole time?
No, it's going. Are you watching anything?
I'm
Like I'm
watching you
watching
on
the
the
thing
Zoom.
live. Are you watching something? Because I can
Oh,
like.
there's Becky Hammond. Okay. Well, yeah, it just
So,
seemed like
so
there was no action on the
Screen
camera.
Jeff's screen froze. That's good times. All right. Anyway, but here's all I was going to say is Becky Hammon is awesome. She was an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. This is a cool insert, by the way, coming next. She coached the Los Angeles Aces to a title, so she is one of the most amazing, prolific coaches and
Oh, wow.
players out there. Now we got Ruthie Bolton. This is just like an insert card. That's really cool. Just looked her up
Okay.
as a rookie, was an MVP candidate. What's up, Jeff?
Oh no, I didn't realize it was just we were focusing on the Becky Hammond cards so long. Whenever I see no motion for a little bit of
Yeah.
time, I always just assume the cameras are
Here's
frozen.
one good thing. I've got like two screens up, and I'm trying my best to do it. And Oliver, welcome in the chat. By the way, Jeff, as a shout out, patreon.com/Jeff May. You can get, ooh, look at that. A nice, I don't know if she'll become good, but a rookie insert, the Blue Wave. You love to see it. Not numbered, but as Jeff's told me, I'll teach all of you other noobs that aren't like me. You look on the back, you look for that little prism. You look for that prism. Patreon.com/Jeff May. Jeff sends out stuff in the mail. Oliver in the chat is also an amazing artist. And look at this, Jeff. That's pretty. That like aqua.
Yeah, that is. Oh, look at
So,
that.
and I'm
Is
gonna
that
look. I'm gonna
numbered?
look up the stats because this is numbered of 49. So,
Nice.
Westbrook, not that. Let's do a compare. Which Westbrook would you rather have? Of course. Oh, she's young. This is awesome because this is a numbered young card. So if she turns, okay. If she turns good, this could be huge, Jeff. But she is averaging 2 points per game in her 2 years in the NBA, and she has not yet
Probably
played
not
this
the
year.
best
So
sign. Yeah.
so it could. Now here's the thing: it could still happen, but that is a numbered of 49 card. I love that blue. Like the different ones. I love that. That is an awesome card. Oh yeah, patreon.com/Jeff May. Jeff sends stuff in the mail, and now we're starting to get to maybe like weird trade territory, Jeff. Because Oliver did an amazing piece of artwork based on an episode of Nerd. Jeff and I do a podcast called Nerd with Dre and Jeff.
We do.
And we did an episode on the Tick. What I'm going to start doing is maybe like Texas Hold'em, like at least have a couple out, because in that way it's not just like the blank thing. I like your thoughts there, Jeff. Okay.
Oh yeah, like we want that motion on there. Yeah. We love some good motion.
And I'm going to be, there are only four, I think there are 7 to 8 leaf cards. So I'm sorry, Jeff, I'm going to be doing a bowling motion for each of those. Anyway, Oliver did some amazing fan artwork on the episode of the Tick we did. And I was like, Oliver, we might have to do a trade because I believe Oliver is one of your patrons that gets stuff in the mail. For those that don't know,
Oliver does not get stuff in the mail.
Oh no, Oliver. But I think there may be a way to facilitate a trade. So here's the thing. Patreon.com/Jeff May. I'm going to say it as many times as I can, Jeff. I'm sorry. Because you're awesome. Ooh, yeah, Della Don, who Della dominates. I do know her. I was going to say, Jeff, you send stuff in the mail. You do breaks usually Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Now, again, sometimes things happen. Sometimes COVID happens. Sometimes we're traveling. So that's why you got to like and subscribe so you know when we're going live for real, right?
Yes.
It's usually going to
I will
be.
also add, I am now able to go live from my stuff on this network too. So it's not just you. I can do it now too. So,
Okay, so is this anything, I wonder, Jeff? Am I going to get excited about just like a QA card? So this has got no one
oh,
steal it
you
if
got
it's anything.
points.
Oh, it's points. Points.
Yeah, you got Panini
I'll tell you
points.
what, if any of Jeff's fans really, really want those and want to steal them, you are welcome to it, but I will try that for fun. That is cool. Points card. Because I remember one time, Jeff, on this stream, for those that are longtime fans, I got super excited. I thought I had an insert, and it was a checklist card. Because it was like backwards, and I was like, oh, it looks different. And then like this looks like an ad, right? Like this could just be like a head over to wherever. She is on my WNBA fantasy team and does well. So keep doing well for the value of this
Yeah.
card
You
as
can
well.
get, I mean, there's like 250 points is like, it's not nothing. You could get a Contavious Caldwell Pope Prizm Silver autograph for 250 points.
Are you serious?
Oh
Now
yeah, you can get.
let me ask a question. Did you pull that name out of thin air, or were you intentionally ever?
I just researched it. I
Do you
like went
know me as
online and
the
looked at it.
Nuggets fan?
That
Because
was
he
just
is on
there,
the
but
Denver
yeah.
Nuggets.
So
I think I have to get that now. So either if one of you steals it, I'm not going to be mad because we're so happy you're here. So like as Jeff mentioned, we were at his old YouTube channel. Hey there, Jeff Rowe. Basically, Patreon is like, or not Patreon. Patreon 2 is frustrating. This is a cool card. We'll talk about it in a sec. But a Prizm, Red Wave. Um,
so
but over
Dre,
there,
I'll send you that link for the Pope.
thank you. Got to get the Pope right with the hat. But yeah, I'm a big Nuggets fan, and he is a starter for the Nuggets. So thanks for that. All right, Walker
So
Morgan in the chat. By the way, Walker, I sincerely hope, because I think there is a video here that you did first. For those that don't know, we started over at Hey There, Jeff Rowe. The YouTube algorithm basically says, hey, what's Jeff doing being a Renaissance man? Why on earth is Jeff doing comedy and long-form podcasts and interviews and card breakings? Like, pick a lane, Jeff, and that is literally what YouTube does. So that's what we're doing. This is where Jeff, Renaissance man, does everything, right? So he's just going to be doing cards. We're just going to be doing cards over here. So I've been migrating Jeff's old content, and Walker Morgan in the chat has been first on all of them so far. So
he's been dropping those
so
comments down
Walker, did
always.
you get first on this
Yeah.
one? Because this is a real video. It is already there. So it's both a live stream, but the video will be there for everybody when we're done. Chelsea Plum, Donaldson, The Dream. My good friend Brian Foster has a fun take. He's like, if you want to hate the WNBA, hate them because so many of the teams don't end in S. Seattle Storm, not Storms, not Stormer.
I like that.
These are. I was hopefully going to write an article last week, but had lots of fun stuff happen. I love the Prizm, man. I mean, I know the rough side of it, right, is that if you're going to make a shiny card, a thicker card, you run the risk that they're harder to grade or more, easier to get flex and stuff on them. But they're just so damn pretty, Jeff.
They are gorgeous. I actually really like them in the WWE style.
I
think they work really well with WWE.
Oh, nice. I got another cool one coming up here. So got a rookie card. Never mad at the rookies. And I want to look up some stats anytime I get the like cool one. I love these hall monitor ones. So I'm wondering what the hall
That's a
monitor
good
is.
insert.
I'm just trying to see what it specifies. Like,
I'm guessing
are we
it's
looking for
somebody
the
that
Hall of Fame?
I'm going to assume it's somebody that they're like assuming is going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, those are always funny too. And wait, she's got to already be in it, right? So maybe that's people already in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, 3 times. Okay, Lisa Leslie, let's break down the stats. This is really fun for me to look in the past. But, and then I'll go over to the handy browser. Basketball Reference, awesome for so many things. Shows all the stats up top. This is the site to have, basketball-reference.com. 3-time MVP, 3-time All-Star MVP, 8-time All-Star, 2-time WNBA champ. You should be a huge fan. That's the Sparks, very Kobe-ish, right? Started her career with the... Look, okay, so Basketball Reference, if you look at the right here, I'm sorry, Jeff, I know I'm describing a spreadsheet. I won't stay on here too long. Basketball Reference recently has added award voting, like how if they won it, and the voting over here that I'm kind of highlighting if you look at the right. That is an absurd career to basically say her entire career she was in the MVP like top 10 discussion. That is a pretty insert. I am going to get that in a top loader. And Jeff, you say things while I do that so that it's not too boring.
I'm going to make it more boring. That's what I'm here for, Dre. I'm not going to here to make your videos better. No, but we all know that Dre loves him some stats. So no better way to address this than to go through the stats.
That was the hilarious part about Jewel Lloyd, by the way, Jeff. Because I looked up her stats and I was just like, yeah, her stats aren't really all that good. Okay, again, we got a Red Wave rookie. Like, you're just happy about these, right? Because you never know. You never know on a new
I like
player.
those, yeah.
And not numbered, but still a cool card. But yeah, I'm all so Jewel Lloyd, Jeff, right? She, I looked her up and I'm like, she is not a productive player. I'm sorry, I'm that guy. I know. She's not a productive player, but Jeff, unfortunately, it looks like Leah Brown is out of the NBA, but we have this card. This is a cool card. And here's a fun thing about any WNBA card you grab. Guaranteed, she is going to be one of the top. Like, if she's a one and done in the NBA, that's a weird phrase to have, right? I guarantee, because I don't know her stats, that she was like one of the best college players, right? Like, she played, I guarantee, she played 2 years at Nebraska, 3 years at Michigan. When she was coming out, she was averaging 18 points a game. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, Leah Brown is one of the best college players ever, and I have her WNBA card now.
So tying that into a lot of, like, if you listen to Adam Todd Brown and Logan Trent's WNBA podcast on You Don't Even Like Podcast Network, they do talk about on the first episode, the pilot, really, they say, the WNBA is the hardest professional sports league to get a place, like to find a roster spot, because the rosters are so infinitesimally small.
And by the way, Logan Trent's WNBA, the podcast you can find over on the You Don't Even Like This network of shows. There is the WNBA Fantasy League, which I'm in with Logan. I got to share this story, Jeff, because we got WNBA on the screen and Logan is in the chat. Logan and I played each other. I lost. Logan, when he was done on the WNBA podcast, appreciate this, Logan, said that he smacked me down. So far not untrue, Jeff. My comeback. Here's my brilliant comeback that I know you've already heard, but the audience hasn't. I said, look, that's not impressive, Logan. You had the best score that the league has ever seen. You would have beaten anybody that week. That was my comeback, Jeff.
That was your big comeback. Was you beat me so bad you would have beaten anybody.
I was like, oh yeah, you beat me, Logan. Big deal. You would have crushed anybody that week. And then Logan lost the next week with like the second highest score the league has ever seen to the highest score the league has ever seen. So that's karma, Logan. That's what you get for beating me so bad and not even really being all that mean about it and just telling people that you did it. That's what you get.
Drag him, King.
Oh, nice. This is a cool one. She is still freaking playing. Fireworks card for Diana Taurasi. She actually was on a WNBA squad that beat me in our fantasy league, and I'm like, she's 41. Who's drafting her? Not me.
I just saw her on a commercial too.
She is really, really good. Oh, Jeff, this is so cool. Okay, so we got apologies, Rachel. You're awesome, but you're not who got excited. Jeff, please numbered. Please numbered. Oh, you're right. Jeff is so much better than I am at this. I'm like, just a normal Prizm. Nope, Jeff is right. And I think this is actually, if you look at those corners, there's like the silver, which is the normal Prizm, and then there's the diamond. And this has the diamond. So, yeah. I should not be a jeweler, Jeff. I would miss simple stuff like that.
That's okay.
Okay, please be numbered, though. She is on my fantasy squad. I can't tell if this is not centered. What do you think? It's hard to tell. Let's look at like the other frames. Yeah, I think unfortunately the centering isn't great on that, which is a bummer. Sabrina Ionescu, amazing player, was the first pick did for my WNBA fantasy squad, which makes her extra cool. And holy cow, numbered 149. Awesome pull.
That's awesome, man. God, what a grab.
I would say that like that's the thing about like auxiliary parts of sports, cards, fantasy squads, etc. Like I think that's a fun game, right? To get like a numbered card of everybody on my WNBA fantasy squad. That would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, we got another numbered one card coming too, Jeff, but I'm not going to tell you who. MVP Brianna Stewart, Logan in the chat, I know, will have thoughts about if she deserved it last year. Number one pick in the WNBA fantasy league. I'm so happy about the fantasy squad and this, Jeff, because I've really wanted to get knowledgeable about the WNBA for years, and this is really helping.
Nice. It's always good to have that information provided with people who really do enjoy it and know about it and help you learn it.
Well, it's so lame, right? Like, Jeff, like, we think about high school. I don't know how you were as a high school student. You and I both had discussions about that. But in high school, starting to get duplicates, but that's not a problem, because then maybe if anybody asks me, have to be like a 2-month lag time, Jeff, because I'll have to send it in the packages I sent you. If anybody wants WNBA cards and wants to wait 2 months, just add more to Jeff's logistical plate. Don't bug Jeff, bug me, by the way. But in high school, like, we have cards, we have comics, we have these like delivery systems of things that I still remember from high school era, right? Like, I remember things that were on the back of trading cards. I remember things that were, in comic books. And then you look at like standard textbooks. All right, I'm going to get pronunciation and stats on this Get Hyped, beautiful Get Hyped. I love just how the Prizm looks. That's so cool. But yeah, just like how things are delivered, right? If you delivered things in a sports card in high school as opposed to like read this really boring book, how much better would I have retained it?
Yeah. Logan says in the comments, by the way, Asia should have won, but it's not historically egregious.
That is not historically egregious, by the way, Logan, is a perfect statement, like one that I would use. Like, that's kind of what I have, there are years.
Oh, look at that rainbow.
Oh, that is a rain. I need to do that more often to see it, like you can see it. Okay, so let's get this right, Jeff. So on our insert, Eureke Ogun Buwale. And by the way, I'll stress this to like announcers, people who do podcasts like your buddies over at Gamefully Unemployed, Dave Christopher Bell and Tom Ryman, who like have to review every single movie spoiler over at the Gamefully Unemployed Network, where you can also find Jeff talking about Batman. Occasionally they'll get pronunciations wrong and people get mad at them. If you work for like ESPN, though, you should be able to get people's pronunciations in front of you. All right, her stats, Jeff: 3-time All-Star, 2021 All-Star MVP, and this year, holy cow, man, should have got her for the fantasy squad. 26.6 points per game, 3 steals, 5 assists, 4 good God, that's absurd. She's got to be an MVP. Tell me if I'm wrong, Logan. She's got to be an MVP discussion at least.
Damn.
All right, now but by the way, and last card. I actually have. Okay, this is cool, Jeff. Let's hope this is numbered.
It should be.
Numbered 149, Diamond DeShield. She is on my fantasy squad, but she is on the injury reserve list. And I've been debating if I should drop her because she is out indefinitely. Still a really good player. She's still like 40% owned across the league, so there is that.
Nice.
All right.
That's pretty rad.
I love it, Logan. Logan says they're going to hit that on the podcast. By the way, Jeff, WNBA point. My buddy Dave Barry brings up all the time that I think you would love. That Logan and Adam basically brought up about how it's the hardest league. And all the asshole haters, right, will be like, well, they couldn't compete in the NBA. Tell me when they can all dunk or whatever, right? Candace Parker, another Ionescu, just base. And his point is he's like boxing. He's like Manny Pacquiao. You'll see like Sugar Ray and Manny Pacquiao as like greatest of all time. And I'm not even going to disagree. And he's like, you put them in the ring with like... Well, go ahead. Are you going to tell me I'm wrong?
I would not put Manny Pacquiao even on the top 10 of greatest of all time.
Oh, I got something cool coming, by the way. Okay, well, but like, here's the point. There are lightweights, right? There are lightweights. There are middleweights that you would put on.
Yeah, there's featherweights. There's middleweights. There's lightweights. Yeah, but that's why weight classes exist, right? You wouldn't put Lennox Lewis versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. It wouldn't be much of a fight.
But here's something really cool coming. But here's the point on that, Jeff. So I'll do the really cool. Oh, I'm so excited about what's coming up. I really hope it's numbered. Cheryl Ford, Jeff. Yeah. I've never seen one of these before. Look at that.
Oh,
like cool. A rainbow insert fearless, not numbered. This is Sue Bird. I happen to know her because my buddy, Patrick Minton, who we podcast about, he actually had Seattle Storm tickets and she is one of his
Well,
like favorites. Sue Bird is amazing. She is one of
Stu
the
Bird is considered one of like the Mount Rushmore of women's
well.
basketball,
Here's
right?
what I'm
Like
saying. When we
she's
talk about like arguing who's the greatest of all time, I am saying that
yeah,
like Sue Bird has to be my number one because of Patrick. Like
she
basically, we
kind of has to be.
podcasted
Yeah,
about
right.
basketball, and I'm like nobody's allowed. I mean, there are some other good names, but I'll let you know that's part of my reason for why. That is a cool card. Let me get that sleeved really quick, Jeff. But yeah, the boxing metaphor. Yeah, and apologies. You can see I'm going to stumble talking boxing with Jeff, where I'm like, these top 10 bowlers, and Jeff will be just like I am with basketball, where Jeff's like, well, actually, Dre, if you look at the numbers, that boxer, wasn't very accurate, and really only won on rounds and was in a weak competition league. I love it, Jeff. We got our different nerd things.
Well, you also threw me for a loop because you said bowling when you meant boxing,
I
and I was
said
like, oh,
bowling.
now we're in two Dre spaces right there.
All right. The Dre. All right. Well, we got through those. That was, I might have, you and Adam have a box, but those were fun. I'm probably going to wind up getting another box of those, Jeff, at some point for the future.
Nice.
All right. But yeah, so the boxing metaphor is like there are different weight classes for boxing.
Yeah.
And it's understood, right? When someone says Sugar Ray, whatever, there are a couple of them, right, that are really good.
Robinson or Leonard,
Yeah.
yes.
When someone says that name, you're not like, well, they wouldn't have beaten, insert a heavyweight here, Jeff, that would crush either of them.
You could just easy say. I just use Lennox Lewis as an example.
Lennox Lewis, because he's a giant too, right? And people are like, yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
There are different classes, and the same thing with like college versus pro, right? Anybody that ever has the statement, would Kentucky, would Duke, would whoever, beat, let's see, and we'll just start doing some of that. Keep in motion on the camera while we do the talk transition. We're about to go to PBA. I'm so sad my WNBA cards are done, Jeff. But yeah, anytime they're like, would Kentucky compete with the NBA? It's like, no.
Nice.
The best. These are our old ones, by the way. The reason I'm doing PBA today, Jeff, so this is PBA Leaf. I hate these. They're great as a collector, as like just a fun person to open. So PBA, they do these like short runs, like 4 to 10 cards that are all already in top loaders.
Yeah.
And they're, special. We're going to get some inserts. We're going to get some autographs. Those are fun. If you're trying to fill 30 minutes of streaming time, they're not the best, but they are, as a collector, I do love these because, I don't get like 20 duplicates of a, Jawa attack for Star Wars CCG when I'm just looking for rares. But yeah, so across the things, people will just recognize the delineation. So like the WNBA, when people are like, they wouldn't compete with the NBA, it's like they're different classes, first off, which is fine. And the people in them, it is the most competitive, right? There are only 12 WNBA teams. That is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like put Floyd Mayweather against like a mediocre heavyweight, and he would die.
Yes.
Like that's just the way to put it. Like the end. That's the whole story.
All right. By the way, got to get this. This is on my list of things to talk about. I was so proud of this. Namely, someone asked who's the best butler of all time on Twitter, and I responded, any gainfully unemployed fan knows it's Pop Alfred. Not expecting this to go viral by any means, but Dave's mom liked it. That's all I'm looking for. If I can get
Always
Dave's
nice
mom to say it's cool. But yeah, we got some Pop Alfred fans out there. I know in the chat, Logan Trent, Pop Alfred is his favorite bit. At some point, Jeff, that would be a fun collation, thing to do, right? Like get all of the fans' favorite bits in Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, because I think there are like 3 billion at this point, right?
We got some good inside jokes. There's some good bits, good running bits in the Tom and Jeff Watch Batman Jokeverse.
All right. Now, by the way, the reason I chose this is the PBA finals, which PBA is bowling. The PBA finals are going on. It's convoluted. I love bowling, but one thing I'll say is it's always hard to know what makes a sport good or bad. That's going to wade into that WNBA territory where you're being, critical needlessly. But they have different formats. They have I love step ladders, but they'll have step ladders and playoffs and this, and now they've got 2 divisions going for the best. So right now, let's see if this will show up at least halfway decently. Yeah, right now what's happening is the 8 best bowlers of the year. Marshall Kent had an amazing year. Jacob Buttriff, EJ Tackett, Bill O'Neill, Kyle Troop, Anthony Simonson, Jason Belmonte, and I always mess up the last guy's name, but I have his card. But that guy, we're gonna go with that guy, not because I don't know his name, because
Yeah,
I
that
always mess
guy.
up his name. You know, his nickname is that guy though, so it lives. Basically, 8 best bowlers are in 2 divisions. They're gonna play a step ladder in each division. The winner of each division plays each other. And I'm just like, just keep the thing the same. It's so hard for a casual fan to hop in where the styles change. But the finals are going on. This
Are there a
doesn't
lot of casual PBA fans?
there need to, but that's the thing. For any sport to grow, you need casuals. That's the rough part about the WNBA right now, right? Just keep some movement, talk more WNBA, right? Where the WNBA right now is getting a lot of casuals, which is frustrating for any like real, like Logan's watching people come in here and being like, why don't they just start Caitlin Clark above so and so? And he's like, what are you? No, it'd be like someone coming in and being like, I don't see why they don't just trade, Nikola Jokic for Victor Wembanyama and win. And you're just like, no, no, doesn't work that way. But casuals mean eyeballs, which means growth, right? I'm going to start this. We got a classic Parker Bohm, probably the best left-handed bowler of all time, as a nice start. All right, I love this man, the bus. We got a Jerome Betts.
Oh, look at that.
Now, not
Jerome
Otto would love it.
Bettis.
I am looking forward to grading the James Harden rookie card, or rookie bowling card. Why not, Jeff? It's his rookie bowling card. James Harden numbered auto you pulled. So that's why I love Leaf, because Leaf does this. They have bowlers, but then they also do this for the casuals, right? You need casual eyeballs watching. So yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. PBA, I think, makes it harder for the casuals. And that's the thing, is like you need to make things approachable for the casuals, which is frustrating for real fans, right? Because you get the bad takes about Caitlin Clark, but that means eyeballs, that means growth, that means more money. So I don't know if you'll recognize this one, Jeff. This is Thomas Larson. This is the guy I believe we got the plate for. I think I have the plate of this card.
Oh, fun.
Which is cool. And
That's
he's a pretty,
neat.
this is the same thing as the WNBA. Every person that has a card in here is one of the best bowlers ever, and it's just such a competitive field where it's just like, oh, this person only won 1 title across a 20-year career where they picked up $100,000 in winning, because bowling is just such a brutal sport.
I mean, yeah, but I'm looking here at Tim Mack, and I'm not exactly being like, oh my God, this guy's what an athlete.
Well, I mean, that was the whole Moneyball thing about certain sports. Moneyball, the take that he is, by the way, Tim Mack, show some respect, Jeff. He has won 70 titles in 30 countries, which I, of course, knew before opening Wikipedia as I'm talking to you. But no, just like all of that stuff where you're saying like not knowing that they look like an athlete, like that's what Michael Lewis said about Moneyball and was like the secret is in any sport where you are allowed to augment natural ability with a tool. So baseball, they have sticks, right? Baseball, you've got sticks. Bowling, you're using a ball, right? Like really, the key is you're allowed to throw a heavy thing. Like if Tim Mack had to like physically punch down 10 pins, it might be a joke. But if you give him a 15-pound ball that he's going to...
Yeah. Well, it's like John Daly in golf. John Daly wasn't exactly sprinting to the pin, or whatever, but still hits at a country mile. I'm excited to see what this gold card is coming up. To be honest,
right, let's Tim Mack, you're awesome. Storm, Jake Peter. Okay, now this is the best gold I think I've gotten yet, Jeff. That is 5 of 5. Jake Peters, but we're gonna have to see. Like what? Oh my God, that's so sad. I'm sorry. So I just looked up Jake Peters on Wikipedia, and it's never great. It is never great when the person you're Wikipediaing isn't the first, and they ask you, "Did you mean a different name?" Sorry, Jake.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now, so here's, like I said, the rough part. He has earned $234,000 bowling, but that is across 20 years. He has one.
So
he has one title. He has one title in 2013, the Lucas Oil PBA Badger Open, Wisconsin represent. And again, but here's like the thing, like he's like a Team USA member, won gold and silver. Like he played at Wichita State, which is like Wichita State is like the Duke. Oh, right. Is like the Duke of like college programs for bowling. So it's like, that's the thing, right? Caitlin Clark point, amazing in college, amazing at the top level. Put him in the PBA against the best in the world, and it's still impressive, right? He is cashed. Nicely done here, Jeff Peters. 69 times. 69 times out of 199 appearances. but just only one title because that is just how brutal top level athletics are.
Look, top level athletics. Logan wants to know who the other Jake Peters
I don't
is.
have that in front of, and it gets really really sad, really really sad, Logan, but it wasn't even like a person. It was like, did you mean Jack Peters in this article on like boats?
There's an Nebraska football player named Jake Peters.
So yeah, and by the way, we're getting let's see. By the way, let's do a count. By the way, Jeff, because this has gotten us before. The box says 7, and Leaf is just dirty, dirty liars, right? So we are. Let's make sure I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are up to 5, right? We're up to 5. So let's see if Leaf keeps their word and only gives us 7 cards, right, Jeff? Because if they don't, they're liars. This is another one. This guy's got 3 titles. Sean Maldonado, really good, good player. Not amazing. So I do know we have one good card coming at the very, very end. And I think that's what Leaf does, right? Is so this is our 7th card. This should be our last, but you'll notice there's some cards behind it. And you've noticed
Leaf hand collates.
And so, yeah, I think when they get here and they're like, if this person gets just this as their thing, they're not going to be happy about spending the money on it. So they add extras, etc.
Yeah, that's the difference between Leaf and other companies, is that Leaf does hand collate, which sort of is better, but also some people are like, well, that kind of removes the randomness of it if you're collating it to make sure that everybody gets something good. But in the I like that personally.
Well, it's basically, it is a mainstream version of patreon.com/Jeff May. Any of the rookie card tiers, that's what you do. You break a bunch of cards so we all know what they have. Let's do a brief tangent to that, right, Jeff? So last month, good God, the month of May, because that's Jeff May, I actually missed one. So I've started making spreadsheets. I'm a nerd. I'm sorry, Jeff. I start collating. I've even started getting my wants. So if you're a patreon.com/Jeff May member, Jeff sends you stuff he sees in the mail. I'll make that a little bigger so you can see. And I always forget, like, if you just tell Jeff in the chat when he breaks, over here every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, Jeff has cool cards. If you just tell Jeff in the chat, hey, I really like that Rogan Storm card, he might remember, he might not. It's going to go into the ether. If you DM him on Patreon or anywhere else you know him, you can tell him. And so I've started, I'm like, I've got to keep true to that because I am a member. I'm not just a fan, I'm a member of this as well. And so I started taking a list. And Jeff, you did so many breaks last month when I was actually migrating these over to Jeff Has Cool Cards. I missed one. This is all of the breaks Jeff did last month. That is 11 breaks in the month of May, and I missed one. You actually did 12. And you can get those cards in the mail, and like Leaf, they're hand collated. Jeff knows what the fans want. He's going to make sure you're happy. And like those are two different things. Do you want to buy a scratch ticket, right? You go out and you buy a pack of cards. You're like, I hope I get the WNBA cards. Or do you want to be like, I want to be surprised, but it's more like a gift, and that's what Leaf is kind of like.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We'll make it work.
Yeah,
Michael Tang over there.
In terms of so back on the cards, Michael Tang. In terms of like sad things that are just common sports stories that I know you know, Jeff. I actually remember like watching YouTube if you're a bowling fan, YouTube is the place to go. All the stuff is there, which is good and bad, right? If you can catch full recaps, if you can catch full games like within a day on YouTube, it's good as a fan, bad as a fan because it means it's not popular enough for the sport to like copyright strike it and take it down. I remember Michael Tang, he had one and they were just like, talented bowler, he lost a finals. They're like, talented bowler, we'll see him again, and he got injured and hasn't quite been 100%. So, that's just sports. Sports is still rough. You're a young up-and-comer. Everybody's like, this person's going to be amazing. And then it's just like, oh, and you injured, especially for sports like bowling, right, where it's just like one little thing. It's like, oh, and he injured a finger, and it never recovered, and he can't spin the ball anymore, and that's that, right?
Yeah.
Always rough. Now, unfortunately, we're going to get what the good news, Jeff. I'm sorry. We'll get at least one card, even me as the bowling fan recognizes. But this was definitely a pack of like, let's highlight people that are really good that aren't all-time winners. Richie, I'm going to say Teese. Another one of these.
Teese, just like my best friend from college and high school, Matt.
Hey, wait.
Teese.
Okay, wait. Did he change his name to Richie and go bowl professionally, Jeff?
No, he does. He makes apps and websites.
What a nerd! Who does that, Jeff? Who makes apps
Right,
and webs? Those
right.
nerdy, yeah, those nerdy folk. What are they doing? Okay.
Dude, it was so funny. When I was a teacher, I used to bring all of my friends in for career day because it was eighth grade. So I would just bring like all my like cool, fun, goofy friends that were kind of local in for career day, which was on a Friday, and then I would just have them crash at my place all weekend, and we'd hang out. It was so fun.
Hmm. That's
They'd
and
be like,
yes.
"Yeah, a lot of men in their 20s at working our career day. That's weird. How'd we get so many young men?" And I'm sitting there like taking them all out to dinner afterwards.
Huh.
Like, oh, okay, never mind.
Ah. All right. So by the way, you should ask your friend if they're related. You never know. And this is numbered, by the way. So that is numbered. You have a numbered of 5, numbered of 10. That's pretty cool. I think we're up to 9. We'll kind of. But this is the big one, Jeff. This is the big one.
Oh,
EJ
that's the guy
Tackett.
from the box.
He is back to back. He is a back to back player of the year. I've actually met him. He is a cool guy.
Oh, nice.
So this is the lame story. I'll see if I can keep some movement on the screen while I tell the lame stuff. But basically, and I don't know where I put my other bowling cards, Jeff. I'll have to find them. I've been doing a really good job organizing everything in my office, and sometimes that bites you because that means you actually put something in a box in the proper place, and then now you have to like open the box. So, in terms of the PBA championship, here's the thing I want
Yeah.
to see. I have a Buttriff signed. I have a Tackett signed. I have a Belmo signed. I
Yeah.
do have a Simonson. That you pulled him. And God damn, I'm just gonna have to get the name. Sorry, because this is gonna drive me nuts. So apologies. I'll go back on the cards while I look up the name because it's really disrespectful to an athlete not to remember their name. Yeah, and if I had the card in front of him, Jeff, I could just read it off the card, which is very frustrating. But yeah, I have 4 signatures. Okay, so that's Packy Hanrahan. Packy Hanrahan is the guy on the very far right.
Yeah.
If you look here. So I have 4 of these of the finals. That's one of them. I have 2 of these signatures. And over here, I have these 2 signatures. So if one of those 4 wants to win, that would be cool. So that's where we're at in terms of bowling. Yeah, EJ Tackett, back-to-back player of the year. Oh, good. Logan and Jeff. Here's the problem, Jeff, in terms of Jeff has cool cards. There are people I would love to make moderators of the channel. Logan might be one of them. And then I tell Logan to moderate. Jeff and Logan, you two talking in class, saying that stuff. Cut it out. Putting on my 8th grade hat.
Well,
like
look
Jeff.
at his hands, the way he's throwing them. He's definitely throwing them that way.
You have ruined 2-time player, back-to-back player of the year, EJ Tackett.
It looks like EJ's at the very least throwing up a gang sign.
All right, I'll get through the stats, even though this is better content. But 2-time player of the year. Last year, he won 5 titles, including 2 majors. He won a major this year. As I mentioned, I met him, and I did the lame thing. I went into the World Series of Bowling and had signs like that you held up.
Yeah, you remember you wrote signs for every bowler, right?
And what I would do is I would do a player, and I would compare them. So this Jason Belmonte, I did Simon Belmont. This is my friend Lannon's joke, because every time I say, Jason, can you believe what Jason Belmonte did? He'll be like, the vampire hunter? I'm like, no. And it's always funny, Jeff. So I did Jason Belmonte versus Simon Belmont. And, I was like, Jason Belmonte uses bowling balls. Simon Belmont uses stakes. They both are like amazing people that destroy legends or whatever. He's from Australia. He's from Transylvania. Right. There we go. He does. Okay, so Logan is... You're crushing me because I love EJ Tackett, but Logan's like the shocker, looks like the angry video game nerd. Logan, I can't ever have Logan and EJ Tackett in the room together. But yeah, so
honestly, it would be funny if there was, yeah.
Or if we ever did, but yeah. So anyway, so with EJ Tackett, I got to him and I said EJ Tackett versus Buddy Hackett, and I was literally like, they're not all going to be. I'm like, I'm out. I was like I've used all my creative juices on all the other bowlers.
Right. The amount of work you did, like the amount of shooting yourself in the foot you did just for the rhyme, is respectable.
Oh, I know. But you're a stand-up kid. You know what you do. Like sometimes when you get a thing, you're like, okay, well, how am I going to spin this joke, or how am I going to spin this slant? So that's what I'm saying when I put on the card is, I did like EJ Tackett, yeah, whatever. And, if I'd had a little more time, could have gone to Kinko's or whatever. But it was fun. I was really looking forward to putting my all into it this year. And then the Jerks went to Michigan. And there's a big freaking lake in between Wisconsin and Michigan that makes it really, really hard to drive straight there. So couldn't go this year, but I've been to the World Series of Bowling twice. Hope to go again. Logan, you want to be my guest?
So
then we can't just have you and EJ Tackett in the room together. Let's
next time, though, instead of trying to rhyme Tackett, try to think of something that could possibly rhyme with EJ. That would be good. And I'm sure the sign would just write itself.
EJ. Shocker.
Oh, you want to know something funny? So I was cleaning up my room yesterday, and I found my PSA magazine. And I have one of the 500 limited Deion Sanders ones that came in, but the back of the cover is damaged, so it's worthless.
Oh. So that's weird because I'll have to take a look. So I have the PS. So like some of them are collect. I should be smarter about this. By the way, Jeff, they gave us 10 cards, but that is, by the way, not to sound mean. Or does it 10? I think I counted Jason Belmo on accident. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's the mean thing, Jeff. They gave us 9 cards. This stack here has half the titles of this one here. So that's why they gave us that card at the end.
Yeah.
They were like, one more, one more, one more. And they're like, okay, just, yeah. But that is cool. I will probably get EJ Tackett. Graded at some point. He's one of a couple. Like, this is probably, to be candid, not to be mean, this is probably the only major bowler that is known outside of the sport. I'm so proud of this. Gem Mint 10, Pete Weber. I revealed this on the anniversary of Who Do You Think You Are? I Am on the show, Jeff. Which I didn't realize that day, which is hilarious. But yeah, this is probably the only card that's worth a lot of money. But it is fun to have, like, he is one of the top bowlers. The fun stat he has, EJ Tackett was the youngest bowler to 20 titles in front of Pete Weber. Yeah. So that's really cool. Would be a fun one to get graded, to just have that going on. Let's see. I'll start trying to do the Prizm check on these as we wind down. This is a lot of fun. I hope you're feeling better. As I said, if you go to patreon.com/Jeff May, you can find. I'm just gonna start doing should probably get anything that is numbered in a sleeve just in case, Jeff. But I was gonna say, if you go to patreon.com/Jeff May, yeah, we already said it. Jeff came down with COVID, which I don't feel bad saying because that is an amazing episode to hear about. Like, you and Kim Crawl, you two, Jeff, had a month. You two had a month. Was a month, Jeff. Not a fun month. It was a month. So you can hear all about that. It is a really good episode. So patreon.com/Jeff May. There's Fine. Yep.
And then we'll be back. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty fine. I'm just more bored than anything. But we will be back on Wednesday with your regularly scheduled stuff. Friday, we'll do a mailbag.
I'm looking forward to this. So yeah. In terms of Jeff has cool cards, like I said, really helps to grow. You all are awesome because, again, this is the algorithm. We had to move channels because Jeff is awesome and he's too awesome. That's I know this sounds like an interview thing where, like, what's your weakness? And it's true. The truth is YouTube says they want you to pick a lane and stick to it. And Jeff, you are just too good at too many things. That is not hyperbole. I'm not being sarcastic. That is the case. Your long form interviews that you can still find over at Hey There Jeff Rowe, the YouTube channel, are really good. They're good stuff.
Thanks, man.
And they're some of the best things. And Simpsons, don't let me mess. Me. Here's what happens, by the way, Jeff.
David Silverman. You're talking about the David Silverman episode?
Yeah, and for me, by the way, Jeff, here's what will always happen. If I know a name is important, even if I've got it in front of me, my brain, I'm like, okay, brain, please don't mess this name up. We got it in front of you. We're going to read it. And my brain's like, no dice. You're going to be like, Silver David Manster. And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about, Dre? So that's why I wanted you to say it. But yeah, amazing. Legend here. And I have a couple of regrets, Jeff, on that episode. I didn't think about this because he is just that prolific. Should have asked a bowling question. Because
he directed the Jacques episode.
That is one of the most prolific episodes where Marge has an affair. And was that Albert Brooks who was doing it? Was what you were saying?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, I think he talks about it on.
He does.
on the episode. So definitely check that out. Yeah. Patreon.com/Jeff May will get you early access to the uncensored episodes. You get them a week early, but it is dropping for free everywhere else. So that's
Not with
exciting.
bonus content, though, and that bonus content is freaking worth it, Jeff.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But hey, thank you all for joining us. Patreon.com/Jeff May for all of the I Must Break You stuff. If you want stuff in the mail, you'll get it. I'm starting to push packages together, trying to get them out by next week. Let's hopefully, let's hope I can do that. Excuse me.
And I'm definitely going to do the not a fan spot. Like, that is something I look forward to on this channel too. Is like when I get stuff in the mail from Jeff, I'll show it. I'll break it here. I send Jeff stuff in the mail that I know he breaks. I'm looking forward to when that happens in the future because I know there is an awesome one coming in the very near future. Sorry for spoilers, Jeff. You got to keep the fans wanting more.
And I've even got some more stuff that you're going to be very excited to see me breaking in the future. I got a message yesterday from somebody that's like, I came across this. Do you want it? And the answer was very much, yes, I do. So I'm very excited to share that with you.
Love it, Jeff. Okay, so let's see. I think we got them all. Jeff has cool cards. You're already here, but, like, subscribe, share. It really helps. You are so awesome. YouTube, Jeff is great, and Jeff grows. You're doing gangbusters, Jeff. I do really want to say it as your co-host, but it is the case that all of these places, I have so many feels for modern content creators. They make you jump through so many hoops, right? Like, they're like, fill out this form, and we did. And they're like, are you going to say there, Jeff?
It's a lot of hoops.
Yeah, it's like if you see any successful produced, content creator, Jeff is one of them. Know that they're basically their own boss. So good job, Jeff. You're doing a great job managing you, which is true. That's no sarcasm, just so we're clear. But also be aware that person had to jump through so many hoops to do the simplest of things. You're like, oh, that is really cool that Jeff is live streaming on a Thursday for me. How many? 6, 7 forms, Jeff? How many do we have to fill out? That's fun stuff.
It was a lot. We had to fill out a lot of forms.
You had to film stuff too. That we had to do both. They were like fill out this form, send us the thing. All right. Jeff has
cool. I'm going to suggest as soon as you finish wrapping, by the way, why don't you run on over? I sent you the link for that Caldwell Pope card. That's exactly 250 points. So cash that perfect.
I'll cash that in right after that. Then that'll be a future reveal. Patreon.com/Jeff May for the millionth time. The rookie card tier is great. I was going to throw something to you, Jeff. Sorry, I know I'm keeping us on a tangent, but I don't have a kid in the house.
Cool. It's not like I haven't been trying to leave because I have to go to the bathroom real bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Out even more.
Okay. Last one, and then you can just cut. You can even cut out in the middle. But Jeff, I was going to say this: suggestion or question. I've got a question for the rookie card tier. Obviously, you can get stuff in the mail from Jeff. Could you? It seems like it'd be valid, right? To sponsor for someone else. So
we talked about that. There would have to be another thing. First off, I'm not creating.
Yeah, I know that. No, this is simpler, Jeff, because I actually have your stats. So if I sent you enough money for a rookie card tier and had an idea, I think that could be something. So I'm going to throw that out there. That I might
look. If somebody wants to sponsor on somebody else's behalf, they're more than welcome to. I can't do a random. Nothing can be done random on Patreon. There are very specific rules against it because that actually falls under contests, which you're not allowed to do on Patreon. So there can't be any form of randomness. But we know that somebody did sponsor one for Zach, which will be thrown together soon enough.
All right. Well, I've got an idea for a sponsor one. That'll definitely be fun. I think you'll enjoy it, Jeff. Sorry. Go to the restroom, patreon.com/Jeff May for the millionth time. If you're here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. It just does so much for us. It lets us do more. I'm found most places as Nerd Numbers, soon to be the owner of a KCP card of some sort. Sweet? I don't know what that. I have no idea what that accent is. Jeff, I'm just going to start playing us out, and you can go to the restroom. So thanks everybody for watching.
Everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you later, and goodbye.
Bye. Maybe I'll start playing us out. Yeah, just head out. It's playing. Nice talking. Have a good one, sir. And I think he's gone. I don't even think he's here. Just me and the outro music. It is what it is. This was fun. Thanks everybody for being here. Logan, you're the best. I apparently just can't have a dinner party with Logan and EJ Tackett, which I know is on the docket. One of these days, right? I have too many invites. Logan EJ Tackett. Thanks so much.